10 incredible powers that the Queen of England has. Did you know that Queen Elizabeth II has traveled to 120 countries without a passport? Number 1. Queen Elizabeth II can travel without a passport. When traveling overseas, Queen Elizabeth II does not require a British passport, as all British passports are issued in the name of Her Majesty. It wouldn't make much sense for her to issue herself one. Other members of the royal family, such as the Prince of Wales, still require a passport to travel overseas. With well over 60 million people living in the United Kingdom, the Queen is unable to issue such a large quantity of passports each year. She now has several ministers working to issue all passports on her behalf to solve this issue. Number 2. The Queen doesn't need a driver's license. Like passports, British driving licenses are also issued in her name only. This means that she is able to drive without the need for a driver's license. He began driving when she was just 19 years old, back in 1945. Even at this young age, she knew her way around a car. When she turned 18, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service during WWII and trained as a truck driver and a mechanic. Although she is often driven around by selected members of her royal staff now, it's not uncommon for her to drive herself on her own private land or find a nice place to take her corgis for a walk. Number 3. The Queen is the only person to have the power to appoint the elected Prime Minister for the UK. As the head of state, Queen Elizabeth II must remain neutral on any political matters. Whilst having the right to vote, or stand, in any election, she still maintains her neutral stance. Why is this? The Queen is responsible for appointing the Prime Minister after a general election or resignation. She chooses the candidate with the most support from the House of Commons. During Queen's reign, there have been 14 British Prime Ministers and 14 US Presidents, 13 of whom she has met in person. Number 4. The Queen has the power to veto any bill passed through Parliament. Parliamentary bills follow a strict path through the upper and lower houses, which conclude with royal assent. This means that the Queen must approve a bill before it becomes law. If she disapproves, it's simple, it doesn't become law. Whilst Queen Elizabeth II can veto any bill that comes her way, an occasion has never arrived where she has needed to invoke her power. Number 5. Queen Elizabeth II has the right to claim ownership of all unmarked mute swans swimming in open waters. This one may sound a little odd compared to the rest of her powerful capabilities on this list, but it's why we have chosen to include it. The right to claim ownership of all unmarked mute swans in open waters can be dated back to the 12th century. Back in these times, swans were often used as prized food, often served at banquets and feasts. Back then, if you injured or killed a swan without permission from the monarch, you could face severe penalties for your actions. Stealing a swan egg alone could land a hefty sentence of 1 year and a day in prison. Number 6. The Queen has the ability to grant a royal pardon. Queen Elizabeth II has the power to give anyone a royal pardon to anyone convicted of a crime or to shorten their sentence. The original purpose of a royal pardon was to provide an exemption from the now abolished death penalty. With this being said, in 2001, the Queen used her power to shorten the sentences of 2 inmates in HMP Prescott after they saw a wild boar attacking a person working in the jail and jumped in to help him. Number 7. The Queen has the power to command the armed forces. In 1945, the Queen, who was a princess at the time, joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, becoming the first female member of the royal family to join the armed services full-time. Since then, the Queen has maintained her close relationship with the armed forces. All soldiers within the British Armed Forces are under the command of the Commander-in-Chief, the Queen. Number 8. The Queen is the only person in the UK who can declare war on another country. Whilst being the Commander-in-Chief, Queen Elizabeth II is the only person in the United Kingdom that has the power to declare war on other countries. The last time such power was used was by King George VI, during World War II. In 1999, the Queen refused to give her consent for the military action against Iraq bill to be debated within Parliament. This meant that the UK was unable to go to war with Iraq. What one says goes. Number 9. The Queen cannot be arrested. That's right, the Queen cannot be arrested in the United Kingdom. This is very similar to why she doesn't need a passport or a driver's license. The explanation is that justice is carried out under her name. When a criminal case is taken before the court, the cases are cited as R versus the defendant. In the case of Queen Elizabeth II, the R stands for Regina, Latin for Queen. Number 10. The Queen has 2 birthdays. Not quite a power, but something that certainly needs mentioning. Queen Elizabeth II's birthday is celebrated on the 2nd Saturday in June. However, she was actually born on April 21, 1926. In Mayfair, London. Her official birthday is celebrated with other members of the royal family at the Trooping the Colour parade. This parade has marked the official birthday of the British sovereign for well over 250 years now. Thank you for watching Factify Vlogs. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel.